Hello, welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Lauryn.
And I'm Ian.
And today, join us in our Strength and Swings class as we finish our last sip of coffee, because it's a new time of day for this class.
It is.
We had the get-up coffee just before this, so we're ready to do some get-ups. Before we do some get-ups, we have our kettlebells off to the side, ready for a couple minutes. Get started with our body weight warm-up first.
You got it. That's that head neck to start things off. Step in your comfortable stance. Here I'm about my squats position. With my chin tucked in, super slow, rotate. I'll choose my right shoulder. A rotation. Then chin nod as to sniff that armpit. Then scrape that clavicle or collarbone to center. Then lightly pull down as we extend the neck to look up. From here, look out to the other side, in this case, my left. Then we'll trace down the wall. Look at that clavicle, trace it with the chin, pull down, and reset your eyes on the horizon. Repeat in the opposite direction this time. First, we'll rotate to the other side, the second side, this case my left. Then we'll look up that wall, trace the head to center, pull the crown high, reset down. Then look up, then look out to the other side and down the wall with a chin nod, scrape the clavicle, pull center, and tall. I was aiming to be a figure eight, and I did get a little lost there, so we'll do that one more time through the rib cage this time instead. Shoulder blades retract. Light flexion, meaning forward. Then from here, a rotation, a side bend to the back corner, and then that rounding circle shape to the front. When your sternum lines up with your belly button, pull down. Lift up, keep your shield engaged, and then a rotation to the other direction. A side bend here, a circle shape back to the front, then pull down and get tall. Repeat in the other direction, so we'll flex forward, rotate away, side bend, over the back, when the sternum lines up with the belly button, pull, down, and last time rotate, side bend, circle, circle, circle to the front, and then up. And maybe I even got lost there. So I'm going to hand the reins over to Lauryn here as we get into some of those lunges.
All right, we'll get warming up our lunges. So with our feet underneath us, let's take a single leg, remember which leg, and step it back into a lunge position. Right now we're up on that back toe, we're hips and shoulders pointing forward. Now let's lightly tuck under that back hip and take 5 seconds to get to the floor. As you descend, think about pulling that front leg in and extending that back hip forward. 3, 2, and soft landing down. Once we're down here, let's stay here. Either place your hands on your hips or don't. And lightly circle your hips around like a hula circle or a light rotation in through the hips. Then come back to center and repeat in the other direction. As you do this, try to keep this front leg relatively stationary, as well as that bottom femur, and you're just thinking about moving the hips or your pelvis around those femurs. Once you come back to center, gently tuck under that back hip, squeezing the back cheek, push down on that front leg and pull. This time, let's allow ourselves to drift knee towards over a toe. Once we're out here in that extended position, push into the floor forward to send yourself all the way back up to tall. Let's do that one more time. Pull on that front foot, pulling your knee towards over your toe, keeping that back hip extended, and then push forward into the floor, sending yourself back, but keep extending that back hip. Let's relax but stay. We'll take this foot and heel toe it open to the side and just get our position here warmed up for our get up. So take that same side arm and just lightly cross it across your body. Head's gonna rotate that direction towards the side knee, and then the upper body will follow. Let's do our head comes back to center and the upper body comes back. Repeat and add on. Head, upper body rotates. This time we'll hinge on the hips and our hand will find the floor. Once our hand's on the floor, we'll stack our shoulders as if we're doing our get up. From here, that head will look at the hand on the floor and the upper body will rotate towards the floor. Then lead with the head to open up and the shoulders follow. Take a second here, breathe, pack that top shoulder, meaning kind of retract and pull it down into its armpit. Try to get a little bit more rotation and then press the floor away. Head comes back to center, shoulders. Before we go anywhere, let's just tuck that back hip under, drive down in that side leg, and do one lateral drift, sending that knee towards over the toe. Once we're out there, we'll push ourselves back to tall, heel toe that leg to the front. Now we're gonna hover before we stand up. So push down and forward in that front leg, down and back in the back leg, keep the back hip extended and try to hover that knee off the floor. And then soft landing. From here, do that same tension and step up together. Excellent. We just have to do it all one more time on the other side. So step that second leg back, 5 seconds down. We're tucked under, driving that back hip forward and the front leg in, landing softly into 1. Once we're here, we're gonna do our hip circles. So if our pelvis was that bowl of punch, trying to slosh the punch around a little bit, but not spill it out all the edges of the bowl. Come back to center, repeat 2 in the other direction, 1 and 2. We'll keep that back hip tucked under and gently pull on that front leg, drifting the knee towards over the toe. Once you get into that flexion, into that ankle flexion position, push forward and send yourself back up to tall to keep that back hip squeezed. One more time, pull on that front leg to move into this position and then push into the floor to go back. From here, we heel-toed that leg open to the side. We took that same arm and put it across our body. And then we added our rotation. So first, our head rotated, followed by the upper body. Then the head to center and the shoulders. And one more time, the head and the shoulders. And then the hip hinge, hand finds the floor, stacking the shoulders. Head will look at the hand on the floor, and then the upper body will close up. And then the head will look open, and the upper body will look open. From here, we stayed here, and we just tried to rotate a little bit further through that upper body, keeping that knee pushing to the side, that bottom shoulder pack, that hand gripping the floor, and then press the floor away, head to center, shoulders to center. Before we go anywhere, we pulled on that lateral leg to drift that knee towards over the toe one last time, keeping that back hip extended. Take a second here. Then press to center. Heel toe that leg to the front. Hover before you stand up. Back hip extended. Push down and forward. Hover. 3, 2, land. This time, press and come together. Assemble. That was the word.
Assemble.
Excellent.
Excellent, excellent. That's our body weight component of a warm-up. Check in. How did it feel? From here,
it's not done yet.
It's not. I'm skipping a line. Jeez, I need to read this menu board a little bit better. We're doing an ankle squats.
Coffee. Check out our website for details on how to order your coffee today.
Excellent. Ankle squats first. So it reinforces those knees over toes. Knees over toes with flat feet. Maybe make some skiing sounds just like Lauryn there. Then press those hips through and find your first 2-footed balance here. Squeeze your cheeks, pull up those kneecaps, wearing the ribs over the hips. Slow down. Then knees over toes. This time we'll find that chair pose on the toes. Hold for a second. Return the heels to the floor. Extend the hips through. Repeating again, knees over toes. Peel the heels. Then stand on those toes and extend hips. Breathe, balance. Reset. And all the way to the floor this time is knees over toes. Peel the heels up to descend in the toe squat. Hands, no hands. Knees down, hips through. Tight abs. And then from here, it's that wrist warm up. Hinge on the hips. Absorb the floor, fingers. Calluses. Full hands. Pull the hands to the knees and feel tension build already. And by pulling the hands towards those knees, could you drift the shoulders over, extending the wrist? Then push the floor forward, tip your tailbone back, keep the elbows straight, and repeat once more. Pull, feel the preload, then drift the shoulders towards over, wrists as allowed, and turn your fingertips white as you press yourself back, extend the hips with a shake. The get-ups wrist again is that extension wrist. Let's just do one more quick warm-up, turned out to the side. Hinge on those hips, fingertips, calluses, full hands. With your head, look between those hands, and I'll push to my right, sending my weight or energy to the left. Then pushing left, feel the preload again, and transition to the other side. Push, pull, breathe, check in, build wrist stability and strength here by connecting to the floor. I'll push back to center once more, and then pushing equally both sides, flicking those wrists, shaking it out. What's next, Lauryn?
Excellent.
Keep us on task here.
We're gonna get that plank fired up because we have swings coming your way. Let's place our hands back on the floor, either from the knees or your toes. And if you combine knees and toes, it's nose. So either from your knees, your toes, or your nose, let's lift up into that plank position. Right away, let's tilt the tailbone to the ceiling. Then say a no, 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 and tuck the hips under, squeezing the cheeks, connecting the ribs to the hips. This should allow you to brace your core and put that shield on the front of you. That shield means you're breathing underneath it, but I could punch you and it wouldn't hurt for 3, 2, knees come down. Just take a second off. Lightly tip the tail to the back, tailbone to the ceiling. Maybe even step the knees slightly wider. And we're going to do some squats. So let's push our hands forward, drifting our hips back into that squat position. Then we're going to start to pull on the floor. As we pull forward, our knees will start to lift and we'll assemble back in our high plank. Adjust your feet as needed. Tuck the hips under, squeeze the butt cheeks, pull the floor together without moving. Meaning pull your right hand to your right hip. Pull your left hand to your left hip. Then pull both at the same time. Squeeze your cheeks still. Breathe. For 3, 2, tip the tailbone to the ceiling. Push the hands forward to lift your hips. Lightly bend your knees. Maybe adjust your stance into a wider stance as you come up through your hinge. Your hinge is your vertical shins. Hips taking the load. Press through to tall. Okay, now Ian.
Now, we're finished that bodyweight component of the warm-up. How'd it feel? Always check in. But now, let's check in with those kettlebells. We have our loads off to the side here. Make sure we grab the right one to start. And we'll start by using our low carry or that farmer's carry, suitcase carry. Maybe you're going on a trip. Hinge. Grab with a single hand. Check in. Are your shoulders square? Mine currently are not, so I'll pull on that kettlebell, squaring up my shoulders, then core brace and pull. Assemble your stance as comfortable for you and avoid the side bend to the loaded side. So pull with those other side abs, slight elevation in the shoulder and retraction. Hold for time, grip strength, core strength, check in with the bell. Then assemble in your hinge stance, 2 feet gripped, one hand bell to the floor. Come up barehanded, repeat on the other side. Set up our hip hinge. Single hand grip, ensure the shoulders are squared with the hips. Pack the shoulder on the armpit, use your core brace, and assemble in your loaded carry. From here, breathing from behind that shield. Root the feet, grip with the toes, squeeze your butt cheeks, pull up those kneecaps, just like the top of the swing. Hold for time, open your stance, return to the floor, and up, barehanded. More carries coming up in a second. Until then, Lauryn.
Some squats.
Squats.
Let's step into our squat stance. Whatever feels like a good squat stance for you right now. Excuse me. And from here, first don't go anywhere. Keep your knees nice and straight and just pull your legs together underneath you. Feel those adductors. Then push down and out on the floor. Feel those cheeks, the kneecaps pull up. Let's go back to that pull together. As you pull yourself down, bending your knees. Come to a nice place. Now we're going to stay here and it's going to get a little spicy. I want you to tilt your tailbone towards the ceiling, thinking about driving your femurs back behind you. Then I want you to lightly tuck your hips under or round slightly. Repeat again. Tailbone tips towards the ceiling, the femurs drive back. Tuck the hips under. And one last time, tailbone drives away from you. Push down and away on the floor and press through to tall.
Ooh, that's like a standing frog there. That was nice. Fired up those adductors for sure. Let's return to our kettlebell. And this time, it goes from that suitcase hold to the rack hold right here, just like when we'd press from. So for that, I like to turn my handle parallel with my feet. I still grip with one hand, square the shoulders, feel the preload, and zip up the body, ending up in that rack's position. Hold for time. Progressions to this hold include static marches, drive down, pull up, drive down, pull up, or stand tall on 2 feet, breathing and bracing throughout. 2 hands to the bell next. Return to the floor. Come up, barehanded, and repeat on the other side. Left hand grabs from me, square up the hips and ribs, and zip up the body to the racks position and hold. Stance wide. Narrow is more challenging, and then single bases of support are the most challenging. Hold for time, maybe one more each of our march if we are. Then, stance adjustment, 2 hands on, kettlebell down, body weight up, squat time.
All right, this time in our squat, let's get a little bit wider. More into what you'd call your sumo squat or your wider stance. From here, let's do the same thing though. Just pull the floor together, feel the adductors, and then push down and away, extending the hips, squeezing. Pull back to center, this time pulling ourselves down into a low squat. From here, we are going to ballistically press out and land on a single leg. Then point, toe ball heel, land center. Press to the other side. Good. Point, toe ball heel, land. Let's repeat that about 4 more times. As we land on that single leg, try to find that stability by rooting the foot in the floor, extending the hip and keeping the knee to the side. Always landing back to center, knee side, point, soft landing. One last time here, hips through, point, soft landing, and press through to tall.
I love the kettlebell holds because they fire up your body. They let you check in and ask yourself, how heavy is that load feeling today? Returning to the bells, we have one more grip. It's that goblet. This time, the handle returns to perpendicular with the feet. Step as close as you can to over top of your load. Set up your hip hinge. Lauren's cued that with our vertical shins. Pack shoulders. Feel the preload. Zip up the body. Squeeze your bum. Hold for time. Look through the window. I was going to say the hourglass, but looking through that window. Pull back to the body. Retract shoulders. Brace the core. And perhaps one more time, looking through. Ribs forward. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Engage your core. Return to the body. And return to the ground with the casual shakes as well.
I think that was a soap opera. The hours of our life or
days
something.
of our lives.
Days of our
This
lives.
kettlebell practice are the days of our lives here.
This is true. Okay, let's do one more set of squats here. Come back to what you feel is a normal squat that you might load later in today's episode. We'll feel that pulled together, and this time we're just gonna hang out for a couple seconds down here. As we hang out, our feet are gripping the floor. So all of our toes, the ball of our foot, heels, and we're pulling our arches of our feet together to engage those arches. Let's drive both knees away from center for a couple seconds. Our spine is nice and extended, and then we'll push down and out to press through to tall. Let's do that one more time. Feel that pull together to bring yourself down. Drive those legs out as you hang out here for a couple seconds, and then to tall. Whew. Shake that out.
Shaking.
We're gonna get into a simple but not easy little routine here, and we're gonna go between 2-handed swings and some kettlebell get-ups. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna swing the I go, you go pattern. I'll swing 5 swings, Ian will swing 5 swings. I'll swing 10 swings, Ian will swing 10 swings. Then we'll both take a second off, get down to the floor, do 1 get-up each side, followed by 2 get-ups each side, and we're going to repeat this for 3 rounds. If you forget all of that, that's fine. You just have to follow along.
Follow along with Lauren. Don't follow along with me, but Lauren will keep us on track. We both have a heavier bell and a lighter bell here. We've grabbed our heavier bells to swing, and maybe Lauren's so jacked, she'll use that bell for her get-ups. But I'll be going back and forth. I go, you go, start the team Lauren, so grab the bell and swing for 5. The feet are rooted, the kneecaps are pulled up at the top. Glutes fully squeezed, high tension throughout, and extremely high tension at the top of the swing. Repeating, now it's our turn for 5.
So you're either swinging with me or you're swinging with Ian. Don't swing with both of us. Take a little break in between. 5 swings here for Team Ian on this last one, and then we're all the way up to 10.
You got it. 5s and 10s, low number and high number. Maybe your number's 3s and 8s. Pick your number, but something low like 5 for us, and maxing out at 10. Looking good there, Lauren. The feet are gripping. The breathe match is there. And for us recovering, in slow, out slower.
Remembering these swings are a little bit more advanced, so if you haven't swung with us in the past, check out those other videos. Refine your strength, refine your skills of swinging the bell, and join us when you're ready. Maybe you're practicing your deadlifts or something else in between.
Those loaded carries, right?
Right. Now we're back to the floor.
Woo. Look at the light. Take a second and recover and sneeze. That happens too.
We're back to the floor to do a get up. So
get
come
up.
on down anyhow you'd like. We're choosing to do our first get up loaded. It could be a loaded get up for you. It could be a body weight get up. One each side. Always starting in our cuddle. We'll roll to our back and press. From here, we use that hip drive and pull to the elbow. Finding the hand in our tall sit, we'll bridge and sweep that leg. Pressing the floor away, we're in that side lunge we warmed up, to our front lunge, to tall. Continuing back down, step back lunge, step, rotate hinge, sweep to the elbow, to the back. Pull the bell down with control, and place it down.
Place down.
Turn yourself around. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Starting in our cuddle position, we'll roll and up, two-handed press. Hip extension, pull to elbow. Find your hand. A bridge, a sweep. Pressing the floor away. Front foot moves to lunge. Both legs help you up. Control that back down, one step at a time as you rotate underneath that bell. Sweep, elbow, and to your back. Pulling down and cuddling. Take your time, but don't go anywhere.
Oh.
We get to do 2 in a row now.
Oh, I thought we would need to read the liner notes on this.
You need to read the ticker here.
I do.
All right, so now we take our kettlebell or our body weight and we do 2 get-ups in a row, starting right now. Press, elbow, hand, sweep, press, and lunge, and all the way back down. When you get to your back, keep that belt up in that firing range or start position. And we'll go back up on the same side. One more get up here. Looking up towards the bell. Breathing as you need to. And always controlling, step by step, the way back down. Pulling the belt down with control. And placing it down. Taking a couple seconds off as we rotate around to the other side.
But don't go anywhere. We have the same thing on the other side.
Stay tuned.
I think.
Right now.
Okay.
All right. Don't want to. All right. Kettle roll press. You commentate it.
We're going to hip extend to the elbow. The tall sit, the sweep, and then windmill away from the floor. Square the lunge, full tension to stand. Returning, the leg you can touch drops back. Then open to the side. Rotate, as Lauryn said, underneath the bell, and sweep, and elbow, and return to your back. From the firing range, we'll repeat. Hip extension up. Tall sit, bridge and sweep. Press the floor away. Square up the lunge. High tension to stand, and repeat. Down, open, hinge, sweep, elbow, and always with control to the floor. 2 hands, cuddle, roll, and get up.
Now we get to stand up, however you'd like. Come back to standing. Take a second off. Breathe. Have a sip.
Strength cardio, my favorite right there.
Have a sip, water or coffee, depending on your feelings. And that's round 1 of 3. So we get to do that 2 more times, starting back to our swings with 5.
I go, you go. It's Lauryn's team first. 5 swings. The grips are firm. The shoulder blades are squeezed. You can hear that breathing match with the power effort of the hip extension.
Team me in here for 5 swings. You're swinging with me or with Ian, resting on the off time. Breathing through that nose, filling the belly, forcing the exhale.
All that, what Lauryn said, is true. And then for relaxing, it's just shaking out, slowing down the breath to reinforce to your body that, hey, this is challenging, but it's okay. A couple more swings for Lauryn. Start strong, finish stronger. In a great way here, each rep looks the same. They probably feel harder, but they look the same.
10 swings for Team Ian here. We're recovering, staying loose in between. As you're swinging here, make sure those hips continue to go back into your hinge position. And you don't start losing that hinge, getting shallower and shallower. Keep the core brace on both sides.
There's our 5.
Watch behind you.
And there's our 10.
Now you know what happens.
Get ups.
Get ups. You know what we should do? Spice it up.
Spice it up.
Let's do 2 in a row to start this set.
Mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
It's pretty spicy. So come on down. We'll do our set of 2 on each side first. Starting in your cuddle, roll, and press. Take your time, 1 step at a time as you make your way to standing. Once you're there, come back down in that reverse pattern. And control. I'll go back up on this side one more time. That bottom shoulder's packed as you sweep the leg through. And press to tall. Using your rotation and hinge to place that hand down. And always finishing right to the end. Whew.
Right to the end. We turn our bums. Take a second off, lay down, sit tall, check in, and we'll repeat on the other side.
We did a lot of snow shoveling yesterday.
There was a lot of snow shoveling yesterday.
I don't think I realized how heavy it was.
The end of the driveway, always a tough spot.
Oh.
But here we are, we're going for 2
Wow.
get-ups in a row now on the other side. Always starting in the cuddle, the 2-hand press, and firing range. Now extend the hip to the elbow, tall sit next, and sweep. Then press the floor away. Square up the lunge. High effort to stand tall. Repeat the lunge down. The open windmill, the sweep of the leg, elbow, and back. Again, same side, hip extend. Tall sit, bridge, sweep, hand away, square, full tension to stand, and descend, open, accept the floor, tall sit, elbow, and back, and down. Now one's gonna feel so easy, right, Lauryn?
That's why I did it. Tricking the old mind. Sometimes you gotta do that. Take your breath. 1 more get up in this set each side. Here we go. From the cuddle to the press. Elbow. Hand. Sweep. Up. Both legs, that back toe is tucked to help you push off the floor. And then down with control as we did in the warm-up. Sweeping, elbow, and back, and down. Whew.
What a treat to only do 1.
What a treat.
Wow. So much of a treat that we don't need any rest as we do the other side. Or maybe you do. Take your rest as you need. Let's get going right away. Cuddle it. Check. Roll with it. And press. Check, check. Set it up, pressing through the hip. Tall sit, bridge sweep. Press the floor away. Feel that tension in the lunges, just like in Lauryn's warm-up, as we pull ourselves down. Rotate, sweep, elbow, and to our back. 2 hands on, cuddle, and leave it right there, and then up. Anyway, that works for you. This is our last set of swings. 1 last set of swings. I go, you go. We'll start with 5 2-hand swings each, then 10, and then 1 last set of get-ups. Catch your breath. 5 swings though, if you're ready to go. 4. And full body tension. Could take that punch. Promise to never, ever, ever do it. Promise. But here we go.
Always be ready. 5 swings here for Team Ian. Hips are loaded. Bells flies through here. Nice strong at the top of your swing. Swinging to that chest height every time.
You got it. If the amplitude or height of that bell is lowering or challenging over the course of reps, lower the numbers of reps or increase your output per repetition. Aim for beautiful standard that Lauryn's showing right here. A couple more swings, shake it out. Team us, let's get ready because we're doing it again for 10.
Last set of swings, that is. 10 swings here. At the top, those elbows are straight, the shoulders are retracted, the kneecaps are pulled up, the cheeks are squeezed. Much the same as that plank position we warmed up earlier today. 10. Park that bell. Take a couple breaths. And now we have 1 last, depends on how you define it, set of get-ups. Coming back down to that get-up, we've done so far.
1 2.
1 2.
2 1.
2 1. What should we do? I like 2 1.
2 1.
I like 2 1. And the audience voted, an overwhelming majority wanted to do 2 and then 1.
Let's do it.
Come on down. 2 get-ups in a row first. Here we go. Last sets. Cuddle. Press. Take your time. As you work through that get-up and into that lunge, you start looking forward. And then on this way down, once you step and rotate, we're starting to look back up at that bell. To the back. That's 1 more on this side in this set.
Full body tension again.
Thinking only about your get up right now, focusing on that 1 move at a time. And then park your bell. Whew. Take a second. It's 6 get-ups each round.
12 totals, I think, once we're done. 18 get-ups?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Because each round is 6 get-ups. So there you go.
That's a lot more than I thought starting here.
Cuddle. Roll and press. 2 on this side. Last set of 2 in a row. Sweep, elbow, and back. And 1 more time here. Time underneath your bell will make you stronger. Find a bell that challenges you but is also successful. As you park with control. Breathe.
Done. 1's a piece of cake.
1
As much cake would be a yellow cake with chocolate icing.
Yeah, that's a good combo. That is a good combo. Or a chocolate chip cookie. All right. 1 more time each side. This is it for get-ups today. Here we go. Cuddle. Press. 1 full get-up on this arm. sweep, press. Both legs help you up and down. Elbow, finish. Oh, there we go. Couple seconds as you turn yourself.
One more.
Just one more.
One more.
Number 18.
You have 2 comments right there. I think they're legitimate or spammers.
One's a spam.
One's a spam. Well, hello. Spammers, welcome to.
Two's a spam, you spammers.
Spammers.
Stay in you can, you spam.
Spammers too. They want to be strong as well, I guess, Lauryn.
They're just jealous. All right, here we go. Last get up today. Elbow, hand, sweep, press, lunge, lunge, step, rotate, sweep, elbow, back, and down. Oh, take your time coming up. Feels great. Ooh, and we'll come to standing there.
There's one more task on our itinerary. It's that squat. We warm up that squat. In addition to that, we warm up that goblet hold. We'll utilize both of those movements, descending in our squat, butts towards below the knees, and holding that kettlebell in the goblet. We'll go an I go, you go style as well here. Team Lauryn, you're up first. 5 reps.
5 by 5 here. Here we go. Hinge, pull catch.
Pull catch. The goblet is in the front, the bell's in the front, but it's supported with the retraction of the shoulder blades in the back and the lats, keeping those elbows down and tight to the body. 5 reps. On the 5th, return it to the floor, and then it's our turn.
Team Ian, 5 squats here. Holding that bell in that goblet position, we pull down and press to tall. Using that up to get us up, that tension, brace as we're nice and low. The feet still grip, the feet are in full contact with the floor here. Place the bell down. Round 2.
It's the same thing, making sure the reps look the same. It might feel more challenging, just like those swings were, but that you're practicing that consistent shape and strength. Take a breath in, power up on the down, shake it out in between. Set 2 for us.
Team Ian here. Set 2. You may hinge with those feet in one place and then step into a squat position. Adjust your feet as needed here. Find a stance that's comfortable for you. And we're about to go into round 3 of 5.
3 is my favorite set. It's that middle set. Gets easier, or at least we're on our way home from here. It's full body tension, the feet root. We pull ourselves down and press away from the center to stand tall. Breathe, shake, reset.
5 by 5. Easy to stay. Easy to say. Hard to do. As you pull down, we want to control the descent, not just flop down into our squat. 2 more rounds.
Set 4, it's that same clean, and your clean position with your feet might be different than your squat. So adjust as you need, personalize your stance, but typically the feet and the hips are slightly turned out, aiming to get the hips below those knees. Set 4.
1 more round here for me. Ian has 2 still. So 5 sets or 5 squats here. As I go, you go pattern. Doesn't take a lot of time to do 25 squats. It's a nice work to rest ratio here. 1 to 1.
1 to 1.
Whoops.
Pack your shoulders, tuck your chin a little bit, and again, the bell's out front, but supported by the strength of the back. Heart rate's going down. Try to slow it down with forced exhales. Last
Team
one.
Ian, last set here for you. Finishing those squats 1 at a time. Each one as good as the last. Pull down, push down and away to get up to tall. At that top, you could take that punch and your cheeks are squeezed. Park the bell with control Take a couple seconds off.
It's coming up, isn't it, Lauren?
What's coming up? Oh, our breathing. Well, I was kind of recovered, so I was going to not do it, but we should do it. You're right. Let's take that breath in our nose for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale 4. In for 4. Hold your breath for 4. Exhale for 4. Repeat again. In for 4. Hold for 4. In more for 4. Exhale for 4. One more time. In for 4. Hold for 4. In more for 4. Exhale for 4. Hardest part, hold empty for 4, 3, 2, 1. That was tricky.
That was an 8.
That was 8.
Challenge to finish today's practice.
That was 8. Well, thanks for joining us on today's practice. We did a nice warm up, we did some swings and get ups, and finished with those squats. Simple, not easy workout.
You got it.
Enjoy your day, whatever it may bring. And later this week, stay tuned to the bar version of the Bars and Bells workout, where we warm up those hips and practice our strength and mobility, both straight and bent-legged.
Always. So as always, to our patrons, to our members, or YouTubers at large, like, share, subscribe. And if you're not a member who receives those weekly link letters with updated links and exclusive content, sign up, barsandbells.com/membership. I'm Ian.
Or Patreon. I'm Lauren. I'm Lauren. And thanks for joining us today. Take care, stay strong, and we'll train soon. Goodbye.